When it comes to James Cameron's Avatar, there's a completely mixed bag. Some people absolutely love it, like myself. Some people are totally obsessed with it and want to live on Pandora. And some people think it's overrated. They don't get the hype. They're totally just not with it. So I'm a big fan. I'm not completely obsessed, but I really, really do like the movies. So when they announce a proper game made by Ubisoft, who Ubisoft for the most part do good games. Yes, I know that's controversial because they do clones and stuff like that. And some things have dropped off. But I was really excited. An open world Avatar game, we got a teaser, it looked great, and I don't know, I just think this could be really good. But obviously there is concerns with the recent Assassin's Creeds not being too good. I know that Mirage apparently was better than some of the others, but I've not played that. And with Far Cry 6 kind of not being as good as the other ones, and things kind of, you know, people are just a bit sick of everything being a clone and just being the same game released year after year after year. So this video is to analyze whether the new Avatar, based on the gameplay that we've been given so far, is in fact just a Far Cry clone, because a lot of people are calling it that, or if it's good enough and unique enough to stand on its own 2 feet, break the mold a little bit, and actually be good enough to get people back into a franchise that, I don't know, that people might not have played for years. But just before we get into the video, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out. It really helps the channel out. Drop a like on the video if you do enjoy, and comment what you think on the video on Avatar. Let me know your thoughts. Okay. So basically, guys, I'm going to be pausing this every now and again to kind of analyze things, talk about things as we go through it. This is really cool. This is really cool.
Hello,
okay.
welcome to PlayStation Access. My name is Dave, and I'm...
So we already know that you can kind of free fall, and obviously we know that the world is open. We know it takes place from a first-person perspective, unless you're riding. That's really cool how you can just be falling in between these floating mountains and then just call your mount to come and get you when you're falling. I don't know. I think that's cool.
I'm joined today by Ash.
Hello.
Who's going to tell me all about Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, which she has been to massive entertainment in Malmo to actually play.
Yes, I have. I went on an exciting trip.
Where was I?
I don't know, but that's why you're here now, is because I'm going to tell you about all the
Shout out to PlayStation Access, by the way, who
That's
this video
my
is
part in this
from.
bargain. Okay.
I'm going to start off by saying it is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Like, I think Avatar...
It kind of had to be.
I think that is something that they've definitely gotten right. The way that this game looks, they've obviously captured the feel of Pandora. You know, I'm a big fan of everything to do with the planet that James Cameron designed. This looks exactly how you'd expect it to look, and I think that that is to be expected, but for it to be as good as I think it seems right now is very relieving, so I'm glad that it looks as good as it does.
Yeah, Avatar is renowned for being a gorgeous cinematic experience, and the game is no different.
True,
like,
yeah.
it's the same again, and it's a standalone story. I want to like jump in there straight away with, so it's not something you need to know all of the Avatar lore for.
Okay,
but
an
you will get
original
some nice little
standalone
kicks
story,
from
that's good.
references if you are familiar with the films as
Okay.
well. So to give you a little overview of what you're playing with. You are a custom Na'vi character, but a child of 2 worlds, as you've been abducted when you were younger, put into cryo sleep, and then returned to Pandora to learn about the Na'vi ways.
Okay.
So basically,
Okay.
every step you take with this
I like
character
that concept.
is them learning about the world whilst you learn about it too. So it's got that really nice sense of discovery.
That's really cool, but I guess I did wonder when it first got announced how they were going to do this thing of, if you're a Na'vi, unless you play as a child at first and it shows you the learning and stuff like that, it doesn't really make sense for them to not know about the world, for you to discover things, for it to be it just doesn't make sense. The Na'vi already know what's going on. So for you to play as a Na'vi that was raised by humans, that is now been released into this world, and although has their instincts and has their, you know, the way that they look and everything, this world is still new to them as well. I think it's a really good way to kind of get that balance of it right, and I think it's clever storytelling.
To it. This is the first time we get to actually step into it ourselves, you know, in a game, and it's a completely unseen area.
It's not the first time we've had an Avatar game.
The Western Frontiers as well, and oh my goodness, Dave, they're so pretty.
Really?
Might be the first time we've had a good Avatar game.
It's made with 3 different areas, which are the Kinlaw Forest, the Upper Plains, and the Clouded Forest. Now, we spent a lot of time in the Kinlaw Forest when I was playing it.
Damn it, I wanted to hear about the Clouded Forest.
That is one of the later game areas, so it's very secretive. live. Like
Okay.
they kept describing it as the spoiler area, the devs
Right.
did, which I thought was quite funny.
Please don't go there.
Yeah.
So far, I just want to pick up on the fact that the movement obviously feels very Far Cry-esque. I'm going to be comparing this a lot to Far Cry because that's what people are saying, that it's just a clone, and it very well might be. That's what we're here to determine. So far, it is reminding me of that, obviously, but a lot of first-person games kind of share that anyway. So to say it's a clone based on the movement, I don't think that holds up. It looks good. It looks responsive. It looks fluid. Obviously, you just saw them climbing up some kind of like root or vine to get over a fence. I think that the environment looks good. I don't know. We'll see.
So we didn't have a look there, but that was very like misty, quiet pine trees.
That's
vibe.
cool. Okay,
King
there's
of
some kind of
Forest
like
is
scan type
rainforest,
thing. I don't know
lush,
how that
beautiful.
works.
And you literally dropped in there in our little demo in the middle of this amazing alien planet, and there's like plants that move when you go near them. These little
These are the
trumpet things
ones.
that are like,
Yeah, I remember these from the movies. I always wanted
There's like
to
floating eggplants
like,
that go in the air.
interact with
There's all
that
sorts
as
of really
well.
reactive things. There's lizards with fans on their back that are flying around, which I didn't realise were lizards. So I shot one out the sky, thinking, "Oh, I'll get that nice little piece of leaf that's in the
Oh
air."
my God.
And then it was a dead lizard.
That sounds like a terrible excuse, Ash. Like, why did you shoot that lizard? I thought it was a leaf. Why are you shooting leaves? Unbelievable.
Resources.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
The way that the bow is kind of aimed and held as well, it seems good. You know, it seems cool. I don't know how it will play, but I don't know. I like the way. Do you know what I mean? It's always weird for me. Maybe I'm very particular, but the way that characters hold weapons in games sometimes, there's like levels to it. There's like a really good way and a really bad way. And I think it's somewhat satisfying to see that it's not like the bow's not taking up the entire screen. It's not really clunky and weird. You can put it away. I don't know. It helps.
But the world of Avatar Frontiers of Pandora is centered around clans and your experience with the people there as well, because you know you are learning about your heritage, your history, what it means to be a Na'vi person. So you interact with different clans on this planet as well. So you got the Aranahe,
Beautiful
Zeswa,
character
and
models.
the Kamitire,
Really
who all
pretty
make up
character
different
models.
parts and have different roles in this world. And we spent a lot of time with the Aranahe, which are skilled weavers who use keen law silk and have ancient tradition at the heart of all their interactions with Pandora. So they have a very like symbiotic relationship with moths, which are the Kinglaw, which
Okay.
are so pretty.
I bet you like that.
I did. It was so cute. They're like these
Okay.
big silken beasties that fly
This is
around.
the first that
As for the
we've
story
seen of
itself,
that, I
As
think.
much as you're discovering about you and your Na'vi history, you're also coming up against the RDA, those classic baddies.
So this is what I want to see more of. Obviously, we know it's going to be a lot of like, the pretty forest, the Na'vi heritage and history, like this person said, which is kind of what we want. I think that is very important for an Avatar game. But it's the conflict between the RDA, the humans, and the Na'vi. You know, as you can see from this environment in this screenshot alone, that everything is dead. You know, it's all dark. The smog is filling the ecosystem and darkening the clouds, and it looks depressing in all honesty, and that's kind of cool. I like that. That's how it should be. It should tell that this is bad. It should be a darker story as well as being something about light and hope and all that stuff. But I am interested because this is obviously, I know there's outposts, and as soon as you say outpost, the first thing that people think is, okay, Far Cry outposts, open world outposts. We've seen them a million times in games before. So I'm curious to see how this game does it different or just keeps it fresh enough for it to be okay. I personally don't mind outposts in games. I think that it's just more gameplay and I like it. It is, there are good ones and bad ones, but yeah, I think that they're fine.
Oh no.
You know, the space people,
It's us, isn't it?
The
It's humans.
Earthlings,
Yeah.
who are there to come to the moon and basically harvest all the good stuff they
So
can.
that's really
from
cool.
its
You can
surface,
just
so they are
call your
polluting the heck.
They're shooting
dragon
lizards out of the
mount
sky.
thing just from the ground as well.
Excuse me, I'm a child of two worlds.
Fair enough.
The humans taught me. You are basically trying to clean up their pollution as they build machines, put all
Okay.
this nasty mechanical badness on the land, and start capturing and hurting the wildlife as well. So there's loads of these lovely procedurally generated moments when you're exploring this open world where you can come across a creature that's been darted by an RDA
Yeah.
dart.
Okay. She just said that this was procedurally generated, so there are random moments that you can interact with in the open world. That's really cool. That reminds me of like Red Dead and stuff like that, where there might be a creature, as we just saw, with a thing in it, like an injection that the humans have put in it, and that's something that you can interact with and do. I really like that. I think that it keeps it massively unique. I think it's really... I don't know, it's great because it means, might be good for replayability as well, depending on how procedurally generated it is. You know that you're not always just going to find the same thing in the same spot all the time, at least not for these. Always a bonus for me. I'm a big fan of that.
And you have to like calm it to take it out so it can go free
and
again.
You get like
or
items
you
for
can
it.
find these big creatures that have been trapped
combat
in like mechanical like braces, and you have to kill all the RDA agents.
Okay, so we got some stealth combat. That's classic.
Which is really nice. It's very good.
Ubisoft,
it's very like eco warrior, which is what the
Far
Avatar
Cry-esque
franchise is all
gameplay.
about.
Definitely.
Like it's about praising ecology and just kind of being at one with this beautiful world. And like I can't emphasize enough how pretty it is.
Yeah.
Like you'll be able to see in the footage that
is beautiful.
Like, talking about.
That is a beautiful
it's just
world.
Gorgeous. The colors and the hues are so intense. The
I really
creatures you
cannot
come
wait for
across,
this.
the plants you'll find, how reactive it is to you. It's just amazing. Like I
Wow.
was really blown away just by being there.
Yeah.
And you can use your Navi senses to kind of make sense of the world around you, which helps you hone in on specific plants if you need to find them, or see your kind of mission pillar in the distance. Or you can not use that at all, or change it slightly, because we were playing on guided mode, so you would be able to see all these sort of things, but you can play it without that and have a more naturalistic adventure.
Okay, that's
you've got to
cool.
figure
That's
stuff
cool.
out for yourself
Different,
as well.
different difficulty and exploration and kind of, hands-on kind of experiences. You can make it so it's really natural, and you have to find everything by yourself, and you have to look for it, or you can put it on guided, where the experience is more easy and lenient, and it's just going to tell you where things are just to make it so you're not running around. I like that. I like the options. I think I'm going to go for a more natural kind of play style, but I do like that it gives people that option for maybe people that don't have the time nor the effort to go around hunting for, plants and stuff that they might need for an upgrade, right?
Cool.
It doesn't hold your hand massively if you don't use guided mode, which I think is a really nice way of doing it.
Yeah, that's good. I like games like that.
So to move on from it just being great to look at, there's also a really neat moment that we played in the demo where you get to bond with your Ikran.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So that's basically, the classic flying creature of Avatar.
Just like climb up the Hallelujah Mountains
and they bond, and then you can fly around.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's your classic, put your hair into a creature and do your bidding with it.
Yeah, exactly.
We all know that.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
That's a weird comment.
The Ikran mission was just gorgeous because you've got to basically follow it up the roost and bond with it.
Right.
So they're tricksy creatures. If you've seen the film, you know they're tricksy creatures. It's not just a case of going up to one and being like, yo, Ikran,
That's really
let's
cool
go.
how it can put
It's
you
like
through
you've
those
got to-
experiences
you've got to
that we've
earn
had
its
in the
trust,
movies.
And you also have to trust it as well. So you've got to climb up this mountain, figure out all the different ways of moving plants, and kind of you have to touch loads of different things to open up these leafy corridors to be able to get through them. You can spring jump
And you've got to,
off other
earn
plants,
it.
and you
That's
can
really
look and see
cool.
all of the floating mountains in the distance, which is so beautiful, and all of these different Ikran flying around. And you get to the moment where you can bond with your beastie. Now, this is the part where I say, there's loads of character customization, baby!
Oh, boy.
Not only can you create your own Navi character and make them look however you want them to look.
Okay.
Oh, amazing. It looked so delicious. Like that we didn't get a chance for the character.
Delicious?
Yeah.
You're sounding like a proper RDA now. What's going on?
Yeah, that's fun.
Stop eating the flora and fauna.
But that we didn't get to do it in the demo. I was like, this is a good thing because I would spend hours here just seeing it. I was like, oh my God, I need to make my beautiful Navi. But you can also make
I wonder how long. I don't know how long she
well.
said she had to play.
And you get to name them from like
Must have been a
list
few
of names.
hours.
So there's loads of really cool ones like Storm, Hawk, like badass. And I chose Carol.
Carol?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That reminds me of like Ghost of
No offense
Tsushima,
to any
where
Carols out there. It's a very bad.
so in Ghost of Tsushima you get a horse and you don't get to name it something original. You don't get to type in a name, but I think there's 3 or 4 options that you get. And even though it's not like exactly what you wanted. I think it's cool because it still gives that personal feeling, and I like it. I'm a big fan.
That's neat.
RDA weapons because you've been trained in human
Right.
ways as
Okay,
the child
that's
of two
cool.
worlds.
Yes.
So you can
But
just
you also have the Navi weapons, so you have bows. You got
right. Okay, so yeah, you can have like a normal human weapon. You've been trained by the RDA. You know how this stuff works. Which, by the way, looks really cool. But also, obviously, as you're tapping into your Navi side, you have training with a bow, presumably spears, and various other weapons like that. So you do have that best of both worlds kind of ability, which is really cool. It's a really good concept. I wasn't sure how they do it. Obviously, we've seen the movies, Navi learn to use guns and stuff like that, but I didn't know if that would be a thing here, and I'm glad that it is.
And then you're pairing it with stuff like a shotgun, an RPG, like
Wow,
your pistols. Like, it's wild. And being able to swap between them and get like the impact
That
of
truly,
both of them is super satisfying.
does make
and, like,
you
they're really great at working between
probably feel
different
more
missions
like
as well.
that
So like you'll
child
want
of two
your bullets and
worlds,
your ammo
you know?
to be able to go up against
Human
the
and
RDA,
Navi.
but maybe you want a softer touch if you're doing stealth, so you get your bow out and figure out how to kind of aim that as well. I got some really nice headshots in, which just felt so good with the
Yeah.
bow. And
Okay,
like,
okay.
You do
It
something,
looks
you're like,
really
that
fun.
was
It does
lovely.
look
I think
kind
like
of
a bow and
Far
arrow
Cry
in
esque.
games is just.
I'm not
when they
gonna
pull it
lie,
off,
but it does
just
look good.
Feels so good. It's better than a gun for some reason. So I'm really excited that that's in the game.
Yeah.
Well, how did you find the combat? Because you're a bit more of a sort of go in swinging kind of a person. Like, did you find the stealth like satisfying and easy enough to do for you?
Yeah, the thing that I like running in and just
The
dealing with
big
people.
bases as
I
well.
did
You
try
get
that
like
to
a
begin
lot
with,
of
and
room,
I got
or you do it
absolutely
this one at
mashed.
least, right?
You can
Very
do it in other
big
areas, but
open
this one
spaces.
specific RDA base that we did was quite populated, so you've got to be careful because alarms go off and more reinforcements come in. But it's really quick.
Okay,
so
reinforcements
you can just kind of
as
run
well.
In, sneak,
Yeah, so this
stab,
is, I'll be
headshot,
honest,
move
this
on to
is
the
very
next
Far
one. Like,
Cry.
there was a real sense of
This is
pace
Far
to
Cry.
it.
For the
So
people that say
I
it's a
think it's really
clone,
well designed
we
with
are
that
going to get
kind of
into it after
idea
this
of
is done.
even when you're
But we are going to draw some comparisons because I can definitely see more as this goes on where those comparisons have come from.
not able to just go in and bash someone around the head. You're still moving quickly, you're still going through, it still
Right.
feels really like that level of tension and kind of action is there.
It's not that kind of sit back and plot for ages and
Yeah.
see troop movements. It's more like just don't get seen, but
Yeah.
be fluid.
Okay.
Well, you can do that as well,
Yeah.
is the thing, but like the ability was that you could just kind of run between stuff. Like I just hid under a tank for ages and kept coming out and boshing someone.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's
that
really
was good.
cool. That's
just
cool
my- that's like my
how the environment clearly allows for people to sneak away. You can hide under things. There's various levels as well. There's like, it's not just a flat area with a couple of roofs. There's like stairs and slopes, and there's a railing up here, and there's a building over there, and it's, or you could go really low and kind of in these trench type areas. It's cool. It's good. It makes for a lot more variety in the gameplay, which is nice.
favourite style of
Okay, so after watching that and seeing a bit more of the gameplay, I did watch that entire video. I'm only going to show little bits and bats of it. What do I think to the game? Is it a Far Cry clone, like a lot of people seem to be suggesting? I think that it's not a Far Cry clone. I do think that it has a lot of similarities. You can see that they've taken the base of Far Cry and applied it to this game. There's outposts. The gameplay looks quite familiar. The way that stealth is approached and stuff like that. The way that the kind of cutscenes play out and the interactions, the climbing. It is very much Far Cry on Pandora in the Avatar universe, in the Avatar world, and I'm okay with that. I think it does enough as well to be unique. I think that's where the key is. People say Far Cry clone and just think, okay, that means it's bad. That means it's the same game that we got last year and the year before and the year before. I disagree. I might be wrong. This game isn't out yet, but I am going to be doing more videos on it. But I think that this game will do enough to be unique. Just look at the way that it looked. Look at the world. Look at the way that the characters are. Look at the uniqueness of it. It's not just Far Cry. It's really delved into Avatar. The way that your character is, the way that everybody looks, interacts, the world, the way that the plants are, the way that the sounds are, the way that you mount. Like, even if it has that base of Far Cry, I don't think it's going to feel like a Far Cry reskin. I think it's going to be good, and I think for fans of Avatar, it's going to be an absolute treat. So, is it a bit of a Far Cry clone? 100%, yes. There's definite similarities, and I can see why you might think that if you're one of those people. Is it still going to be good and unique enough? I believe so. I believe so. Whether it's good is up for debate. We'll see when that comes out. But I think it's going to do a good job, and I think that they know what they're getting into, and I think this whole formula is going to work. I personally, I'm not bored of the Far Cry formula. Yes, do I want things to be better and more innovative all the time? I do, and I think that this might be the first step. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Just remember, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe, because we are going for some big goals, and I'd really appreciate it. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed. Comment, are you going to be getting this game? Do you think it's a Far Cry clone? Let me know. Let's talk about it in the comments. Okay, thank you so much, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.